Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Troyce here, and tonight I'm going to review Viceland's Dark Side of the Ring, Season 2, Episode New Jack. Are you guys ready? Because I know I am, but are you guys ready? That is the question of the night. I'm going to be doing this live, a live review for the very first time on my YouTube channel. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. I post up videos almost every day, so be on the team if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it, guys. All right, we have our champions over here. We have the chat room going. How's everybody doing tonight? We are live. We're having a great time here tonight. We are live. All right. So, New Jack was definitely one of the most controversial figures in ECW history. When you think of ECW, you definitely think of a few names. New Jack definitely being one of those names out of the top 5, I have to say. But in any case, how's everybody doing tonight? We are live. Dalton Hart, Cullum Islip, John Moxley in the house. What's going on, guys? Now, New Jack started in Smoky Mountain Wrestling alongside Mustafa. These guys were an impressive tag team. Their promos were second to none. They would have to be some of the most controversial promos of all time. But in any case, they were going with what was going on in the world at that time. You had this O.J. Simpson trials. You had the O.J. Simpson's trials. You had also the Rodney King incident. Is hard, crazy times, but they were just feeding off of those times, and that was basically what was going on. But in any case, they caused a lot of heat, and they had an amazing career there in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, going head to head with these guys up on the wall here with their signatures right here. The Rock and Roll Express, legends. All right, so New Jack went up to ECW. He had such an amazing time in ECW, became a key player in ECW, had an incredible time there. But I will say, he had some incidents there, one of which was discussed in the documentary, the mass transit incident with Eric Koulas. Now that was crazy, guys. That was insane what he did to him. I mean, I will say he did disrespect New Jack in the backstage area, but let's be honest here. New Jack was a veteran at the time. He was a veteran. And Eric Koulas, just coming into ECW, he was trying to make a name for himself, and look what happened. New Jack really taught him a lesson. I will say he did go overboard, slicing his head all across his forehead, 50 stitches. And he was taken to trial, but he got off the trial. He got off. And amazingly, he did get off. Paul Heyman was there to testify, as well as a few other performers in ECW at the time, and he got off, which was great. Good news for him. But in any case, New Jack was not found guilty in that trial. And afterwards, he pushed the envelope even more in ECW, even more, going crazy, using all types of weapons, jumping off of scaffolding, jumping off of balconies, anything you could think of. New Jack was doing it in ECW, but it took a toll on him, on New Jack. And I'll tell you what happened. He was in a match, and unfortunately, he cracked his skull and lost vision in his right eye. Permanent damage. Permanent damage. He took a bad bump from Vic Grimes. They were on top of a scaffolding. They were on top of a scaffolding. They fell 15, 20 feet down to the ground in the arena, and it was, history was made, but they were on pay-per-view, and it was a shame what happened. But in any case, yeah, they were pushing the envelope, and what happened, I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. I remember watching ECW pay-per-views. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. Wouldn't be able to sleep. But okay, let's continue on, guys. New Jack then got revenge on Vic Grimes in a rematch. In a rematch, he threw him off a scaffolding. But before that, he tased him. He tased him. And then Vic Grimes tells him, I can't feel my arms, can't feel my legs. New Jack throws him off the scaffolding, literally 20 feet high. He tried to throw him out of the ring. That's how far he threw him. But that was crazy, guys. That was insane. Okay, this is live, guys. This is live. All right, and then after that incident, a few years passed. ECW would end up closing their doors, but New Jack would hit the indies, the independent scene, and he came across a guy called Hunter Red. Hunter Red in 2004. Now, he had an incident with Hunter Red. Let me tell you what happened. New Jack was in a shoot match with Hunter Red, and Hunter Red was not cooperating with New Jack, so New Jack started hitting him in the back and then took out a knife and started stabbing him. He stabbed him 9 times. 9 times. He went to jail. He got arrested. He was in jail for 3 weeks. 3 weeks he was in jail. And guess what happened? A few days pass. Guess who comes to visit New Jack? Hunter Red. And Hunter Red gives him an ultimatum. It says, hey, I'll drop the charges. I will drop the charges if, and only if, you travel all across Florida with me and we create a rivalry because of this. And New Jack said, hey, you just, all you gotta do is drop the charges and that's it. And the charges were dropped. He got out of jail 3 weeks. And then New Jack packed up all his stuff in storage. He got out of Florida. Nothing ever happened out of that rivalry. So that was crazy. And then he also got in an incident with Gypsy Joe. He had a match with Gypsy Joe. Gypsy Joe was a hardcore legend in the indies. But New Jack beat the living hell out of this man with a baseball bat, chairs. It was crazy. I remember watching this match actually on YouTube years ago, and this documentary brought that to life, and that was incredible. But at the end of the day, you got to just give credit where credit is due. New Jack was an ECW pioneer. ECW pioneer. He did everything that he wanted to do to get his point across. And you can't blame the man for what he wanted to do. You can't blame the man. I mean, he did exactly what he did, and he became an ECW legend. To this day, we're talking about him. To this day. And if you're talking to somebody about ECW, they bring up New Jack, you have to give credit where credit is due. And that's what he did. You know, ECW, I mean, they pushed the envelope. And we may never see something like that again. We may never see something like that again. But in any case, this documentary, Dark Side of the Ring, was a great documentary. It shows exactly what happened from point A to point B, how New Jack's career started in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, moving on to ECW, and moving on from there. I mean, he didn't go on to bigger and better things as in WCW or WWE, but New Jack became a legend, and that's all that matters. And this documentary really portrayed that, and I was impressed. I was impressed by it. I look forward to next week's episode, Brawl for All, which is actually one of my favorite segments of all time of Monday Night Raw of WWE. I remember watching it live, and that was pretty cool, watching it live. Yeah, but in any case, it was a great show. Hats off to Viceland. Keep it up. Keep up the good work, Viceland. I am very impressed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining me for this live review of Dark Side of the Ring. The first time I ever did it live before. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And thank you so much for joining me. Who we got on the house? Dalton Hart, John Moxley, Cullum Islip. Welcome, guys. Day 77 Gaming. Dalton, oh yes, I actually made a video of what I had tonight, so that video may be out sometime tomorrow or the next day. So I still have some left over. Actually, I had some beef stew, a special beef stew. Incredible, it was keto friendly. A-okay. We won't be doing trivia tonight, but next time when we stream, we'll be doing trivia. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. Hope you all be safe and be well. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. All right. See you guys next time right here on my channel. Good night, everybody. Good night, Jesus. Good night, John Moxley. Good night, Day 77. Good night, Dalton. Good night, Cullum. Good night, John Moxley. I believe I will be here. Yes. Absolutely. I will be here. I should be here for tomorrow's stream. We're going to have a great time tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Metroid signing out.